Now, in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to find the equation of a parabola from its graph. And this graph here has the two x-intercepts shown and also the y-intercept. So the way of doing this is to first of all start with the x-intercepts. Because the x-intercepts are minus 2 and 3, that means that in the equation y equals those two x-intercepts come from the brackets. So when it's x equals minus 2, that comes from the bracket x plus 2. And when it's x equals 3 as the x-intercept, that comes from the bracket x minus 3. And if you remember, when it's in this form, from here solving this, when you let it equal 0, you go x plus 2 equals 0, and then x equals minus 2, and that's your x-intercept. So you're just working backwards, putting these back into brackets. And then what you have to do is multiply all of that by some number and then figure out what the number is by using the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is equal to minus 6, and that happens when x is 0. So replace all of the x's in here with zeros, and you end up with k times 2 times minus 3, and then minus 6 equals, and that equals minus 6 times k is minus 6k. So minus 6 is minus 6 times something, so the something has to equal 1. Or the other way of doing it is just divide both sides by minus 6, like that, and you end up with 1 is equal to k. So k equals 1, and then putting that back in this equation here, you get y equals 1 times, so you don't have to put that 1 in, you can if you want, but you would normally write it without it, so x plus 2 bracket x minus 3, and that's the equation of that parabola here. In this example, you've been given the turning point and the y-intercept, and to work out the equation of this parabola, you use the equation of a parabola in turning point form. So y equals a bracket x minus b squared plus c, and in that formula, the turning points are, or the turning point is, b and c, and so y is equal to a, you don't know, and then x minus b, so the x coordinate of this turning point is 2, so that means this is x minus 2, and that's all squared, and then plus c, which is the y coordinate of that turning point, which is 1, and then from there what you have to do is sub in the y value of 4 when x is 0, that being the y-intercept, so y is 4 when x is 0, and then use that to find the value of a. So x is 0, that bracket becomes minus 2 squared plus 1. So minusing the 1 from the 4, you end up with 3 equals a bracket, and then minus 2 squared is positive 4. And then dividing both sides by 4, you end up with a equals 3/4. And then subbing that a value back up to here, back into that equation, you get y equals 3/4 bracket x minus 2 squared plus 1. And that's your two basic methods for getting the equation of a parabola when you are given all the intercepts, and for when you're given the turning point and the y-intercept.